My name is Daniel. I'm 62 years old, and after more than 30 years of marriage I thought my wife knew exactly who I was. But one day she secretly hired a private investigator to follow me. She believed I was hiding another life. Another woman. What that investigator discovered didn't just shock her, it nearly destroyed everything we had built together. Before I tell you what really happened, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Because this story took a turn none of us expected. My name is Daniel. I'm 62 years old, and until recently I believed my marriage was built on trust. After 33 years together, you think you know your partner completely. You believe there are no more secrets left between you, apparently. I was wrong. It started a few months ago. At first, I didn't notice anything strange. My wife Sarah was acting normal, at least on the surface. But slowly I began to feel that something had changed. She watched me more carefully. When my phone rang, she looked at the screen. When I left the house, she asked more questions than usual. Where are you going? How long will you be? Who are you meeting? At first I laughed it off. After all these years together, a few questions didn't seem like a big deal, but then small things started happening. Sarah suddenly became very interested in my schedule. She would casually ask what time I finished work, what route I took home, whether I planned to stop anywhere after work. It felt strange, but I never imagined the truth. One evening I came home a little later than usual. When I entered the house, Sarah was sitting at the kitchen table. Her phone was in her hand. She looked up at me with a strange expression. Long day? She asked. Yeah, I said. Work was busy. She nodded, too slowly. Later that night I asked her directly, Sarah, is something wrong? She hesitated for a moment, then she said something that completely surprised me. I just feel like you're hiding something. I stared at her. Hiding what? I don't know. She said quietly, but you've been different lately. I wanted to laugh. Different? At 62 years old, my life was extremely predictable. Work. Home. Grocery store. Occasionally fishing with my friend Mark. There wasn't much mystery left, but apparently Sarah saw things differently. 2 weeks later something strange happened. I left work early that day because I had a doctor's appointment. On the way home, I stopped at a small coffee shop. While waiting in line, I noticed something odd. A man sitting near the window was staring at me. When our eyes met, he quickly looked away. I didn't think much of it, but when I left the coffee shop, he left too, and when I drove away, I noticed his car behind me, following. At first I thought it was a coincidence, but after several turns, the car was still there, the same distance, the same driver, watching. That's when I realized something was wrong. That evening I told Sarah about it. There was a guy following me today, I said. She froze for just a moment, a very small moment, but I noticed. What do you mean? She asked. Just some guy in a gray car. She forced a small laugh. You're probably imagining things. Maybe she was right, but deep down, something felt off. 3 days later the man approached me. I was leaving work when he walked directly toward me in the parking lot. Daniel? He asked. Yes. He pulled out a small card. My name is Victor Hayes. I'm a private investigator. For a moment, I thought he was joking, then he said the words that changed everything. Your wife hired me. I felt like the ground disappeared under my feet. My wife. What? He sighed. She believes you're cheating on her. I couldn't speak. For 33 years I had been loyal to my wife, and she believed I was living some secret double life. Victor looked uncomfortable. Look, he said. I've been following you for 2 weeks. And honestly, you might be the most boring person I've ever investigated. I couldn't help but laugh. Thanks. You go to work. You go home. You buy groceries. He shrugged. That's it. That evening I confronted Sarah. She was sitting on the couch when I walked in. Did you hire a private investigator? I asked. Her face went pale. For a moment she said nothing, then she slowly nodded. Yes. I felt a mix of anger and sadness. You thought I was cheating on you? Tears appeared in her eyes. I didn't know what to think. Why didn't you just talk to me? Because I was scared of the answer. Then she told me what started everything. 2 months earlier she saw a message on my phone from someone named Emily. She assumed it was another woman, but she never asked me about it. Instead, she imagined the worst. What she didn't know was the truth. Emily wasn't a secret lover, Emily was a travel agent. I was planning a surprise anniversary trip for Sarah, a trip I had been saving money for almost a year. When she realized the truth, Sarah broke down crying. I thought I was losing you, she said. You were never losing me, I told her. All she had to do was ask. Instead, she hired someone to follow her own husband. A few days later Victor called me. I finished the report, he said, and I told your wife the truth. I laughed, and what was the truth? That after 33 years of marriage, you're still crazy about her. Sometimes marriages don't fall apart because people stop loving each other. Sometimes they almost fall apart because fear becomes louder than trust, and that day my wife learned something important. If she had simply asked one question, she would never have needed a private investigator to follow her 62-year-old husband.